Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to talk about web development. What does web development means? Who is a web developer? What is the importance of web development? What are the types of web development? What are the top languages for web development? So first of all, let us know what does web development actually means. Web development, also known as website development, refers to the task associated with creating, building, and maintaining websites and web applications that run online on a browser. It may, however, also include web design, web programming, and database management. Who is a web developer? Web developers create and maintain websites. They are also responsible for the site's technical aspects, such as its performance and capacity, which are measures of a website's speed and how much the traffic the site can handle. In addition, web developers may create content for the site. So now, before we discuss how a web is created, let us know what is the importance and scope of web development. Why is web development so important? Web development is one of the first thing you need to take into consideration. If you plan on becoming a successful trader, you are not going to outlast the competition with your outdated website that dates way back in 2010. Successful businesses knows how important is website development. As a matter of fact, it's something that they do regularly just so they could fit into what the people demands. As professional businessmen, it's always the goal for us to serve what the market wants. So yes, there's a huge importance for mastering website development. The first thing that people do when they see your site is they automatically judge for if whether your site is credible or not. Well, that's how things go. You might be selling the product in the whole world with a reasonable price tag, but if the site where you are advertising your product is not befitting to eyes, do not expect that you are going to get a lot of sales. That's when getting a lot of checks marks on paper websites development plan is a must. The better your website is, the more people are going to cause a traffic to your site. The conversion rate is greater, and your new business can easily surpass the old timers if you are consistent. What are the types of web development? There are three main types of web development. The first one is front end development. Front end development involves the client facing side of web development. That is to say that it generally refers to the portion of the site, app, or digital product that users will see and interact with. A front end developer, therefore, is responsible for the way our digital product looks and feels, which is why they are often also referred to as web designers. The second type of development we have is the back end development. If front end developers are responsible for how a digital product looks, back end developers are responsible on how it actually works. This means they are responsible for overseeing what's under the hood, including database interaction, user authentication, server network and hosting configuration and business logic. The third and the last type of development we have is the full stack web development. It is actually the practice of working on both the front end and the back end of a program. It is a term mostly used for those working in web development. The developers have background on creating user interface and user experience for front end and also have strong knowledge in a programming language that is used for handling the logic of the application, hence back end. So now finally, let us talk about what languages do we have to learn to become a web developer. We will talk about 5 best languages. The first one we have in our list is JavaScript. There is no doubt that JavaScript is the king of web development and probably the most popular language among web developers. It's also the only language that allows you to create web applications, both front end and back end as well as mobile application. The strength of JavaScript is not just it can run on browser and server using Node.js, but also the awesome frameworks and libraries it has for web development and app development. If you are starting with a web development career, then JavaScript is the highly recommended language for you to learn. The second language we have in our list is Python. Python is another language which has gained a lot of popularity in recent years. While it's not exactly new and has passed the test of time, it's probably the most versatile programming language at the moment. You can use Python for web development, data science, scripting, and automation, similar to JavaScript. Python also enjoys huge community support and has a lot of useful frameworks, libraries, and tools that can help you create a web application in a quick time. Python is also a good programming language to learn coding. So, if you are new to the software development world, then choosing Python can be a great start, not just for web development but for overall programming career. The fourth one we have is PHP. PHP is actually one of the best programming languages when it comes to creating web applications. It's a dynamic server side scripting language that makes it really easy to create fully functional web applications. If that's not enough, half of the internet is running on PHP's shoulder. Remember WordPress, the most popular web application software is made on PHP. PHP also has frameworks which is both powerful and allows you to swiftly create web applications using a model view controller architectural pattern. Well, do not listen to people who say PHP is not useful. If you find it easy, you should go for it. The sixth and the last one we have is the HTML and CSS. While HTML and CSS are not really programming languages, well, some of you may not agree, but yes, they are not the programming language, but they are the backbone for web development, and every web developer must learn them. HTML provides the structure, while CSS provides the style and helps them to look better and more visually appealing. If you want to become a serious front end developer, then you must master these two. The good thing about them is that you can easily master them in a few weeks,
there is no
and they are
surprise.
relatively easy
JavaScript
to learn
is the king
as well.
of web development,
But Python is equally good. PHP and Ruby provide the easiest way to create web applications, and TypeScript is the relatively new, modern, and promising programming language you can learn for creating web applications. So that's it from us. Hope you enjoyed our video and learned something new about